See a big difference.
Mr. President, there's no reason to explain to me that Ghislaine Maxwell, is that on the table?
Interview going on. Todd Blanche is a great gentleman. He's a great man. He's a great lawyer. He's got a great heart. But he's over there now. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I certainly can't talk about pardons.
Can you trust what she's telling him? She's a convicted trafficker who's eager to get out of prison.
Well, you know, he's a professional lawyer. I think he's been through things like this before. But, you know, you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, should not be part of the question.
All right, everybody, what's going on? So, President Trump, well, thank you to everybody that's tuning in. I don't want to be ungrateful, right? We got to have some gratitude around these parts here, right? Thank you to everybody that's tuning in and that will tune in the future. This is the Developing Dad Podcast. Y'all know how we do. So Alex Jones here says that bombshell. Trump says he has a list and is going to release it. Said, I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Okay. So you should focus on Clinton, focus on the president of Harvard, some of the hedge fund guys. These are the people that Trump is implicating. Now, we know that Pam Bondi mentioned to Trump or informed Trump that he was in the list. Now he's doing damage control. And we see a lot of what's happening is based on him covering things up. That's why this is still here. We're going to keep talking about it. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Now, we're not going to talk only about that today. I know some people, when they come in, they're like, oh, talk about Epstein for 2 hours. I'm like, oh, that ain't the only thing that's going on, but we're going to talk about it, okay? Now, we see that Trump gives it sort of a list, right? He gives Clinton, hedge fund guys, former president of Harvard. Some interesting info is leaking out. Let me know when you're in here. If you say hello, I will shout you out. Let me know where you are viewing from. We're going to take a global approach to tonight's episode. We're going to talk about Europe as well, because what's going on over there, hopefully America can take notice and take some tips from what some leaders in Europe are doing. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight, but let's get straight to the main topic. It's the continued cover up. I mean, it's getting sad now. I'm gonna post something that I posted on X, but I want to read this first. This is from Donald Trump's Truth Social last night. The radical left Democrats are doing everything in their power to distract and obfuscate from our great 6 months of service to America. Results of which, results of which many are saying is the best 6 months in presidential history. They have gone absolutely crazy and are playing another Russia hoax, but this time under the guise of what we will call the Jeffrey Epstein scam. Okay, as things are revealed, and I hope will take place quickly, you will see that it is yet another Democrat con job. Hopefully, the grand jury files will put an end to this hoax. Everyone should see what is there, but people who are innocent should not be hurt. Make America great again. All right, well, President Trump is doubling down on the hoax and the scam and the Russia accusations. But the obvious distractions are there. I posted this when I came across the AF posts. President Trump said that President Obama won't be persecuted because he probably has immunity. But the former president owes him big. Welcome, Belnord Getford III and Dana Dalton. Welcome, 83 Delgado. And I don't know how to say that. Ruji. How you doing? All right. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like the video on your way in. Like, dislike, whatever. I don't care. But don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Now, this is what I posted. Yeah, yeah. The Iago from Aladdin, right? Oh, there's a big surprise. That's incredible. I think I'm going to have a heart attack and die from not surprise. Because I mentioned that this was just a distraction. There's going to be nothing that happens to Barack Obama because of this. This is just a distraction to keep people occupied while they try to figure out what to do with this mess of a cover-up. That's what this was about. Everybody could see it. And, well, unless you just are a Trump cultist and you just only believe what he says and you don't care about the truth coming out, right? But we recognize that this was a distraction, going after Obama when, yeah. And we're going to talk about that too. Thank you, Corn Plum, for coming in. I appreciate everybody. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. The rundown. Maybe I should do this. I'm going to do this. Watch this, guys. I'm going to help everybody see what it is we're talking about tonight. I'm going to put the rundown in the description. Now, it may not go in this order, but I think this will help people to get a sense of where we're going tonight. Okay, so that I think this may help because some people come into I'm trying to improve the show as often as possible. I like to take suggestions from, people who enjoy the show and aren't just trolls. But let me put this in. I'm going to pin this to the top. Hold on 1 second. So this will be kind of like what the rundown of the show is. And I'm going to try to pin it. Let's see if I can pin it in the can I pin it? Let me go to the stream and I will pin it so that it'll stay right there at the top so you can see where we're going. Okay? Let me mute this tab so that it doesn't. And I think I'm going to do that going forward as I'm going to pin the rundown to the top so people can see what we're going to be talking about tonight. Let me see. I'm going to post it again one more time. Yes, this is okay. Let me see. Pin. Hold on 1 second. Pin message. Boom. There it is. All right. So the message is pinned. There we go. Okay. So now y'all can see what we're going to talk about. These are the main headers of what we're going to talk about tonight. All right. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Okay, Stephen Miller, appreciate it. R. Buger, all right. Jim, Forever Dark, Reby Ryan, Will Robert, thank you for tuning in. Okay, and Torchbearer, appreciate you all for tuning in. If you could like the video on your way in, right? So I'm not surprised by this. I know exactly what's going on here. Everybody is, looking one way over here at Obama. Look at him, women. He's going after Obama. Everybody, we wanted Obama taken down. Right? Yay. Don't pay attention to the Ghislaine, right? That's what we've heard her brother call her. Ghislaine, right? That's what he says. So I'm trying to get the proper pronunciation, but don't worry about the Ghislaine testifying and getting immunity and all this other stuff, right? Don't pay attention to any of that, right? We don't want you to pay attention. Okay. But we have to pay attention to these things because and we're going to, Scott Jennings is going to point out the hypocrisy of the left, and I'm going to pull up some videos as well. So this was from yesterday as well. The DOJ will be interviewing Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell again tomorrow after her 8+ hour interview today. So they interviewed her for 8 hours. They're going to interview her for 8 more hours. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has been conducting the interview, and Maxwell has actually been answering the questions. Wow. Okay. So, it took y'all long enough. How long has she been in jail? What, since 2020? Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. You deserve a pat on the back for doing your job after 5 years. All right. It won't surprise me, y'all. It won't surprise me that anyone is on the list. I think they're all implicated, right? Now she's also been granted limited immunity. That's what the leading report says. Where's my monitor? This monitor just went out. That's what happens. I bumped it. There it is. It's back. All right, y'all could see it, but I couldn't. Oh boy, so technical difficulties, right? Yeah, it is weird that they haven't interviewed any victims, and the only person in jail is Ghislaine. All right, it's insane. Breaking: Ghislaine Maxwell granted limited immunity by Trump DOJ per ABC. Okay, so yes, Trump's former criminal defense attorney is doing the interviewing. Yes, so that was in that first video. So he's trusting that guy. Yeah, we're gonna see. I want those transcripts, right? We want to see what this is about. We want full transparency. That's what we want because, like I said yesterday, the real reason why we want this is because we want to protect America. That's what I said in my preview leading up to this, to yesterday's episode. I'm saying the same thing. We want to protect America. Now, there are some people, and I've been a part of certain communities where they draw the line at certain places, right? There are some white nationalists that will say that I'm not American. It is what it is, right? They will want to send me home, right? That's a fringe, however. But my family's been here for generations. We're American. I speak English. I believe in pursuing hard work, diligence, excellence. I'm grateful for the freedoms that America provides. I do not want them to be changed. Fundamentally, that's one of the reasons why I do not vote Democrat, because they're trying to radically change the nation into something that it was not and is not and was never intended to be, right? This is our nation was founded upon this document. All right. So let's keep using that document and improving that document and not going the exact opposite direction of that document, right? Because America's founding was based on Christianity. I know people hate to hear that, but there you go. Now, and again, we're going to probably talk about it again tonight, where people think that the only people that can't fight for their nation are white people, right? But Europe seems to be pushing back on that idea. We're going to talk about that in a little bit when we get into our immigration. All right, but y'all check the rundown. The rundown is right there, right? We are in the Trump fatigue section. All right. So TDS is a real thing. And many people are gloating, specifically Democrats, are gloating over the fact that this makes Trump look bad. So they really don't care about the victims of the trafficking. They only care about the fact that it makes Donald Trump look bad. Now, 100%, Donald Trump has handled this poorly. Absolutely, he's handled it poorly. Okay? Now, but there are real victims. There is a real deep state. There are real sinister people who have been covered up or been covered up by the deep state, or they are in the deep state and they're covering this up. We want all of these people exposed. And that is how we want to protect America in this instance. Just like we want the border controlled and shut off, just like we want the economy and American factory workers and American farmers to be protected. We want children to be protected from PDF files. We want child trafficking to be abolished. Okay? Those are the things that we voted for in the last election. That's what we want. All right? And so we see this as another way to protect American interests. That's why we want the list. But Democrats, on the other hand, just want the list. Now, the same ends, But they only want the list because it makes Trump look bad. Let's listen to Jamel Hill, and then Scott Jennings is going to eviscerate her hypocrisy. Right? We got a couple of clips about this.
Seeing him make such a huge unforced error.
Here we go. Let's lose.
I'm just very satisfied by seeing him make such a huge unforced error.
I have to say, your use of the word delicious to start your comments, and then you're saying that you're very satisfied. But, we are talking about a situation here where young...
Uh-oh. All right. Are we back? I think we're back. All right. We're back. Okay, let's get back to, oh goodness, that was interesting, right? That was interesting. Well, let's see. All right, yeah, we're back. We're back. All right, let me know if we're back, guys. All right, we had a little internet issue. All right, thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it. Sue, just so you know, Sue Burrell, I appreciate you for having my back, but I don't care what these people say about me. I realize that, right? She's saying stop the racist comment, block these people. These people have no bearing on my life. I let them in order for them to show how limited they are. They come with the same nonsense every episode while I monetize them. I'm fine with it. So don't worry, Sue. I appreciate you. But I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I just wanted to let you know, right? I just wanted to let you know. I appreciate you. But these people are like the fact that they want to come to a streamer's show and just spew racial slurs. That's on them. Yeah, that's on them. Yeah, they helped me out. Keep it up. Engagement is great. All right, let's get back to the and that's one of the things, guys. So just so you know, when you're secure in your position in Christ, you don't really have to be bothered by trolls. When you sign in and you click the button, I say, welcome, troll. Like I'm like, come on, troll, you too. Right? You're welcome here too. I will not ban you. Troll on. Right? Here we go. Okay.
I'm just very satisfied by seeing him make such a huge unforced error.
I have to say, your use of the word delicious to start your comments, and then you're saying that you're very satisfied. But, we are talking about a situation here where young women were abused. This is a tragic case. Maxwell's in jail because she helped traffic the women. This is a very, very tragic case. I see Democrats and people on the left taking great political delight in this because they don't care one bit about the victims. They only started caring this about 5 minutes ago. They only started caring 5 minutes ago when it was a cudgel against Trump. So this kind of language where we just sort of laugh about the situation but forget the underlying issue, the victims here, to me, right. it's
so what's your solution to?
I'm just very satisfied.
So you see how she's satisfied. This is the mindset of the left, right? This leftist lunacy. They're satisfied that Trump made a mistake. They've been trying to get him on something that would stick for quite some time. And they haven't been able to. His base has seen through their lies. They've tried felony convictions. They've tried January 6th. They've tried all of these things. And he still won. He still beat him, and he's still their president. Each and every one of them, he's their president right now, right? And they hate that fact. They hate that fact. They tried to take him down. They tried to blow his brains out last year, right? But it doesn't matter. All of it, and he still won. And that's the problem. So now that he's actually given them something, this was an error on Trump's part. It has puts a shadow on the 6 months that the things that he's accomplished in his first 6 months. But they have this one thing to grasp onto now. It's unfortunate that we agree with them, that we want the files, but they want the files because of a sick obsession with Donald Trump. TDS. They don't really care that he's on the list unless it implicates him and they can take him down. If he's just on the list as, oh, he's a friend of Epstein and they knew each other in the past, that's not going to satisfy them. The only thing that will satisfy them is that he is implicated as a PDF file and that he gets taken down for it. That's what they want, right? And they don't care about the victims. They're not interested in any of, and you're going to see this next clip of this woman who has been completely exposed as a liar and a Democrat shill, right? This is this is a shtick. Listen to this. This is Ayanna Pressley. Listen to her. Okay. Now, what is she going to say here? She's going to play the victim, right? She's going to pray with sake, right? Here, your sushi and wasabi and sake, right? From the what's that? The Bud Light commercial. All right, here we go.
I've been doing the advocacy for survivors' justice for all my life. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and sexual violence, and it is a life sentence. I think about what I experienced every single day, and I knew that's true for every survivor. When you are violated, when you are groomed, when you are exploited, when you are preyed upon, when you are violated as a child, it changes you at your core on a cellular level. It is a life sentence. And so for those cynics or political watchers who see this as political gamesmanship or sport, it is certainly not that for me. Or those who would say that this is a distraction and we have better things that we could be working on. No. This healing, transparency, accountability for these survivors is important, and they deserve it, and it is long overdue.
Why you always lying?
Let's fact check her real quick, right? Let's fact check her, okay? Let's fact check her real quick. January 2021 through January 2025, she never once mentioned Epstein. Her first public mention appears in July 2025 regarding subpoenaing the Epstein files.
You can't make this up.
She really cared. She cared so much. Right? She cared so much. Oh no, friend, I'm not using Grok. Other people used it. And I just saw the post. Why would you? Goodness. Right? They asked the question, Grok, did Rep. Pressley mention Epstein once between January 2021 and January 2025? They don't care. The only thing they care about, they have Trump derangement and they want to bring him down. That's it. They're not interested in protecting these young women. They're not interested in protecting SA victims. That's not what they care about. If she cared about this, she would have been mentioning it years and years ago. Her first mention? Interesting. Right? Now, the sad reality is that we want the files for the right reasons. They want the files because they want political power. We actually want to see those in power who are guilty brought to justice. They don't want that. Unless it can harm Trump. They wouldn't care. Now, I bet you if it's discovered that Biden and Obama and maybe a front runner for the president Democrat nomination for president in the future is in the files, they're going to have a problem with that. Yeah. Oh, we know Trump is in the files. I don't know why y'all don't think we don't know that. Y'all keep saying it like it's some new fact. Oh, maybe you're new here because I talked about that last week. Was it last week? No, it was actually earlier this week. Yeah. We know, guys. We know. I know. Maybe you're new around here. It's fine. It's fine. All right. But some of the old heads can tell you that we talked about that too. Okay. Yes, we know that Trump is in the files. Now, so Trump is still calling it a scam. He's saying, oh, this person's in the list. He gave us a list of people. Clinton, Harvard president. Who else? What was the other person? Who was the other person? I forget the other person, right? But he mentioned, well, it's probably in the first thing we talked about. But he mentioned people that are in the list. Oh, hedge fund guys. That was the other one. He says it's a hoax. Russia hoax. Okay. But if it's just a hoax, why are you interviewing Ghislaine? Why are we finding out that you were in the files? Why are these things? And then all of a sudden, Barack, we're going after Barack. All of these distractions. You're using the Democrat playbook of trying to gaslight your supporters. All of this looks really bad, which is giving the Democrats fodder to come after you with something legitimate, not just a policy disagreement, because their policies are absolutely insane, right? They want to flood the country with illegals. They want us to be globalist. They want, fetus deletion up to 9 months. They want all of this stuff. They essentially want to destabilize America and turn it into a socialist hellscape. You were doing everything in your power to thwart that. And then this. So you give them something finally legitimate to gripe about. And that's why your base is so frustrated, because we're like, just release the files. Just release the files. And whatever happens. We're fine with that. But don't give the Democrats a legitimate reason to question or to criticize your administration, because you're doing so many great things, right? And we're about to talk about some of those things. We try to make, in between the Epstein cover-up, just highlight some of the things that Trump is doing that amazing, right? Let's look at this one. This one may not be great for some people, but I think it's a really smart move. Okay, let's listen. What he says here: the Trump administration. This is by Rap House TV, and Rap House TV is not a fan of Donald Trump. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you could like the video, I appreciate you. Thank you. Helps to get the engagement up. We have 715 people watching and 55 likes. If we could get the likes up to 50%, that would be amazing. Yes. Okay. So the Trump administration is now pushing for a 2-year limit on Section 8 and public housing. Right? It's a good idea. You want to end the cycle of public housing, the generational curse of housing as a right. The only way you're going to de-incentivize this continued indigency is by removing the incentives. You have to you got to get rid of the laws have to change. That's it. The laws have to change. There's no way that as long as people are able to live in perpetual Section 8, perpetual public housing, that they'll ever be de-incentivized. As long as you just give it, here, take it. If you get what you incentivize, you'll get more of it. You legislate indigency, that's what you're going to get. Yes, we want those files released. But I like this idea. I like the 80 hours of a month work, whether it's volunteer or some type of work that you have to put in order to continue to receive certain benefits. I like all of that. Yeah. So what is a right, guys? So how do you define a right? So, and I want to take some time, because people actually believe that it is the right of every citizen to have a home. That's not the period, though. Paid for by taxpayers. Exactly. Right? I know when I say that, right, y'all? That's racist. That's racist. As a man, I would never want anyone to subsidize my housing. Ever. I would feel like less than a man if someone else was paying for my home. The whole point of me leaving my parents' house was a sign that I was ready to take care of myself. And I don't care who is it. Who people say the largest demographic is MAGA. So they need to get off of it too. What difference does that make? What difference does that make the political affiliation of the people who are lazy and are taking advantage of the system? It is not a virtuous thing for you to vote other people's tax dollars into another person's pockets because they are unwilling to work. That's not virtuous. Show me in the scripture where that is a virtue. Taking someone's money against their will to give it to someone else who will not work. Where's the virtue in that? Right? Where is it? I'd love to see it. Because real virtue is things like this that I hold in my hand. Real virtue is joining with your other fellow Christians, fellow neighbors, to actually put your money, time, and effort into helping the homeless and the hungry. Not just voting for someone else to take the tax dollars that someone else earns and disperse it amongst people who may or may not need it. Everybody thinks that it's somehow a virtuous thing. Yes, the rich. Yes, tax the rich. And we talked about that. The rich are already paying the majority of the taxes in this country. How are poor people paying the majority of taxes when they don't have money? People who don't earn don't pay taxes. Not income taxes. It's unfortunate that we believe that the majority of impoverished people are paying the taxes. They're the ones that are really suffering because of the tax burden. That the tax codes are against the poor, right? Yeah. Now, here's another one Trump is doing. Yep. It's a really, really good one. Okay. Yes, come on. Thank you. I appreciate everybody that's coming in and tuning in. We have 650 people watching and only 79 likes. Let's get those likes up if you could. If you could. That would help out tremendously. I appreciate you, but look, those subscriber numbers are going up. And I'm appreciating that. Everybody that's subscribing, I appreciate you, right? And yes, I do read the comments periodically. But I told you all, as I've told you before, I have a rundown that I'm trying to get done in a certain amount of time. So, I can't respond to every comment. Now, I do respond to every super chat. So if you really want the smoke, super chat it, and then I will address it. All right? That's what I tell everybody when they come in. Now, I will see some from time to time, but, you know, yeah. I will see some chats from time to time, and I may actually address them. But from members, moderators, long-term subscribers, and some of you that have been around for a while, I may be making you moderators in short order. Some of you that are on supporters that are on every episode. I'm looking at some of you. Yes, thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Yes. Was it 93 likes? Only 95. All right, there you go. Woohoo! That went up quick. Maybe it was something was wrong with my counter here on Ecamm. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate you. All right. Yes. Yeah. Some Steve R says on average people pay $13,890 in taxes. If only, my goodness. If only. Oh. Look, you're big ant. If he gets on this getting rid of the this Epstein cover-up stuff, he's batting 1,000. He's batting 1,000. Yeah, he is batting 1,000. Because I'm loving what I voted for. Yes, I know. You're right, Chuck. I will respond to you, and I'll like it. Chuck has been around I've been knowing Chuck since 2013? Yeah, Chuck has been around. That's why I say long term. When I mean long, I mean long term, right? Chuck has been around for a while. But thank you, Big Ant. I appreciate that. Yes, I am on board with what Trump is doing. 99% of it. I just want him to remove the cover-up. Now, this Obama thing, I don't really agree with that. That one was... And then I had some issues with him in the Iran strike. But for the most part, I'm loving what he's doing right now. And I'm going to highlight some things that European nations are doing that I think he should really look into implementing in this administration before he walks away, right? Yes. All right. So I appreciate everybody. That's 48. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's batting really high, right? He's not batting 1,000, but he's doing great. You're right, guys. Yes. I misspoke. I know. Sue me. I'm not perfect. Okay. Now, so we've got some interesting things going on with immigration. So we're going to talk about immigration because I've been trying to do better about getting through my rundown. Okay? That's the thing. All right? Yes. All right. Somebody had? Yes. I know, right? Shannon, so I'm gonna post this one up here, Shannon, since you're a new subscriber. I'm gonna post it. I really like that. The rich get richer, right? And spend wisely and invest. Yeah. And they take opportunities where opportunities present themselves. Whenever I get a new project and I have the time for it as a software engineer, I take it because it's extra money in my family's pockets. I have a wife and 5 kids. I got mouths to feed. So and this podcast, it makes money. Every time I get onto this platform, I'm earning money. My videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views. I just crossed 3 million views recently. The numbers are going up in subscriptions. That pays. I'm monetized. I'm going to keep doing this, right? So, yeah. That's it, right? I mean, we just keep Why not? Why not earn more money? I got, I was like, hey, yeah. I don't know. I think in America, if you're not wanting to look, now I've seen some very sad cases where men are working and the child support system is destroying them. I've seen some of that. Yeah. So, yeah. So the court system needs to be overhauled. What we call in my line of work, refactored. But yeah, let's talk about immigration though. Now, Trump made a very true statement, and we're going to listen to it, and that's going to be the jump off to our next topic. Okay, Trump is a very, very straight shooter on some things. When he really wants to be a straight shooter, unlike this Epstein thing, but when he's straight, he shoots straight. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Yes, here we go.
Stop the windmills, and there's a couple of things I could say, but on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much, everybody. Stop.
He always throws that last thing in there. And stop the windmills. They're destroying the beauty of your country. That was funny. Oh, man. But he's absolutely right. And one of the countries that is stepping up and calling out this, thank you, Sue, from Canada, I appreciate you, is Greece. Greece is stepping up. Look at Greece. Greece says, nope, we're not doing this today. No, sir. Right? New laws. They're arresting hundreds of illegal migrants after imposing asylum freeze on claimants from North Africa, essentially stopping the invasion. If you're an illegal migrant, you can go straight to prison for up to 5 years or be given a ticket home. That's your choices. They've already started deporting hundreds of them, right? And this is what the left is doing right now.
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? Protect your borders. How dare you? Greece is tired of being invaded. We should be tired of being invaded. They come through Greece and then they go up to other places. Now, don't worry. We got some more stuff to talk about. That's not the only one. But they're no longer taking it, right? This is the gentleman who's been, let's see, where is it? Let me click that link. There you go. He's aptly named Thanos. Thanos. Plevris. Thanos. Right? Nope. A right-wing politician who has advocated for racial purity, called for shooting migrants. He was like, I ain't playing. Oh, and urged denying them food, water, and basic necessities. Has been appointed Greece's Minister of Immigration and Asylum. Oh boy said, nope, we're not doing this today. Oh boy. These people are actually trying to come across Greece's border and invade their country and take their traditions and use their resources. The threat needs to be there that this will not be tolerated. Why do you think so many people are self-deporting from the United States now? Because of the strength that ICE is showing in rounding them up and taking no excuses. When you do that, you send a message, and people are getting the message. Why is it so? Is that a problem? That Greece wants to stay Greek? I'm asking, is it a problem for Thanos to want Greece to stay Greek? Why is that a problem? Because Africans want Africa to stay African. Chinese want China to stay Chinese. Why is it just the West that isn't allowed to want to maintain their cultural heritage? I'm just asking. These people, Greece was built by the Greeks. Why should they allow asylum seekers from North Africa to invade their land and overrun their country and use all their resources and change the country's traditions and culture to the same traditions and culture that they're fleeing from? Why should they allow that to happen? So we can't understand this is most people's mantra. If it's white, it ain't right. So white people can't want to salvage their culture. The only cultures in most people's minds, the only cultures that are worth maintaining are brown cultures. Why is that the case? Can you provide a reason why it is okay for brown cultures to want to maintain themselves, but not white European cultures? I'm just asking. Whether it's the UK, whatever it is, whichever one. And I'm not specifically talking about Greeks. I'm talking about any. People have a problem with him doing this. They would have a problem with the UK, and there are Germans who are starting to stand up and push back. Why is it that it's only Western European cultures that aren't allowed to maintain their traditions? I would love to hear that. Someone in the comments, you can put it in there, right? All right. I'm just asking. Listen. See, they can't answer the question. They're going to use a red herring. Answer the question why they aren't able to maintain their cultural heritage. Why can't they? They're going to go to, they stole culture. Okay. So everybody should give back everything that they've stolen. Or if it's stolen, it's obviously not worth keeping. I'm asking. I'm asking. Because there's a set of ideals that can be defined as American. The founders discussed them. Right? You can read in some of these books. I always put these books out because they're popular level books. There you go. All right. You can read some of these books: America's Christian History, Patriots Guide, A Patriot's History of the United States. Read some of I got the Federalist Papers and some other books over there. Okay. Now, why is it? I'm still waiting for, because all I'm hearing is a bunch of nonsense about they stole culture and this and that. Oh, so we going back and we're unraveling the mystery of everybody who's stolen anything from anyone. And the claim that they actually stole it, how is that verifiable? Right? This is for all of you that are coming in, right? Remember, Trump is still your president, right? He's still your president. You still got three more. What is it? 3 more years, 3.5 more years. All right. There you go. Enjoy it. Right. The prosperity. Right. He's doing it for you. Right. I know. And I know that's racist. That's racist. But I know y'all black people, y'all scared, right?
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
The Republicans. This time, Bush didn't do it. Trump didn't do it last time. Reagan didn't do it. Bush 1 didn't do it. But Biden said every 4 years that the Republicans are in office, they're going to put y'all back in chains, right? I know. Y'all just waiting, right? But Republicans really don't need to do anything to put y'all back in chains because y'all are already ideological slaves to the Democrats. So why would they need to put you in chains when you're already in chains? They don't need to double chain y'all. Y'all already enslaved to the Democrats. What's going on, brother Neo Moses? I appreciate you. Yes. Right, here comes the name calling. Right? But then again, I already know, because Biden already told me.
And you ain't black.
I ain't black. Right? I ain't black. So I'm good with that. Ideologically, I ain't black. I ain't worried about y'all. I ain't worried about y'all. Yeah. I ain't worried about y'all. Somebody want to answer Amanda? Somebody that knows me want to answer Amanda? She seems to be very, very sure. We had one person in here very sure that I wasn't married. And now Amanda is wondering if my wife is white. Right?
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? Oh, that liberal nonsense, right?
You have no power here.
Right. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. So unfortunate, right? And then the black people are going to come in. Black people are going to come in and call it self-hatred, right? Hatred of what? So what inherently makes me black? Is it what I believe? Is it what is it? What is it that inherently makes me black? Right? Is it an ideology? Is it a skin color? What is it? What would make me black? What would make me a self-loving black man? What would make me that? I'd love to see what you all say, because I always hear the self-hating thing, because I don't agree with the prevailing narrative of folly that has gotten black people exactly where when it comes to political gain and the reversal of all the pathologies that plague the community. What actually, right? What is it? What should I do to become a self-loving black man? Right? That's insane, right? Oh boy. So we've also seen, we're going to keep talking about immigration because I got some interesting stuff. But you see, this is I'm going to put this in the rundown. Okay. I'm going to put this in the rundown, right? There you go. Uncle Ruckus, no relation. I'm going to put this in the rundown, the illegal immigration news. This is a 10-minute clip of them rounding up North African immigrants that come across the border illegally. And they're not joking. Greece is not joking. Right? Yeah, I agree. I align with people ideologically. That's what I care about. I align with people first with their Christian morals and ethics. That's number one. Yeah, there's Thanos. Thanos doing his thing, right? And then to a certain degree with their politics and the like. But yeah, I've long since stopped caring about what black people think about me. It really just, yeah. What's up, Chuck? Just do what you're told. Exactly. That's what they want, right? Just get back in the field with them, right? Get back in the field with them. Don't you try to escape the plantation, boy. Don't you try to escape the plantation now, right? Massa don't like that. He gonna come after you, right? Massa, I heard developing dad, Massa talking that nonsense about not wanting to be voting for you next time, and he said that he believe in coming up by the pulling up of the bootstraps. Oh goodness. He says, Hamster, you just can't make it up.
You can't make this up.
You can't make it up. And now I got prophets in here. I got prophets. People telling me. Jesus. Oh, I'd be very disappointed in you. All right. Second hesitations. 3:16. Okay. Goodness. I love when people speak for the Lord. Right? We're going to get some holy clapping in here. Want me to do a little preacher chords for y'all so y'all can feel better about yourself? Goodness. Right. Don't you just love it when if you don't agree with someone exactly, then they're like, you can't be Christian. Right? You can't be Christian because you're not Christian the way I think you should be Christian. Now show me in the Bible. Yeah, exactly. All right. If it's making you rage, y'all, then that might be a part of it, right? It might be a part of it, right? Yes. Yes. Might be a part of it. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. See, King Smiley's trying to tell me that I don't follow Christian. I don't follow Christian ideology. Like he's made an assessment about my life after 40 minutes of my podcast. Oh, now, let me do this. I'm going to do this. Watch this. What? Now, define love biblically. Define love biblically. I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give him a shot and see if he can actually define it. Right? Nope, that's not what we're talking about. In this context, politically speaking, how do I love my neighbor? How do I love my neighbor? According to what? How do I love my fellow man? If y'all know so well, come on, tell me. How do I love my fellow man as myself? How do I do it? How do I do it? No, don't give me some nebulous idea. I want to know exactly how I do it. Biblically speaking, I need you to give me a book, a chapter, and a verse. I don't want to hear your care for your fellow man, because you can define care however you want. Define care biblically. Define, because y'all can't do it. You can't do it. See, being humanitarian, they ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Come on, define it biblically. Give me a book, a chapter, and a verse. You don't want this work with the Bible. I got 15 books of the Bible memorized. I read the Bible every day. Come on. Humanitarian is not in the Bible. I'd love to see you try it. They're not going to be able to do it because they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Which is one of the reasons why when they come in here questioning my Christianity, and I'll go to one. Yeah, see, exactly. See, now, because he can't do it. He can't do it.
You can't make it
up. You can't make it up. But he was telling me I'm not a Christian, but he can't define it. Now, how do you love your neighbor as yourself? How do you do that? How do you do that? You're getting closer. You're getting closer. How do you do that? How do you do it? See, look at now look now the Bible is a problem. How do you even know what Christianity is without the Bible? Come on, man, y'all are serious. How do you love your neighbor as yourself? Come on, guys, write it out. Write it out. You guys don't even know. It's one word. It's one word. You don't even know. You don't even know. Look, see? It's one word. It's one 3-letter word. I'm going to give you a hint. It's one 3-letter word. I'm not telling y'all. Y'all want to question me. Y'all don't want to question my Christianity, and now you're proving yourselves to be fools. You don't even know. You don't even know. This is insane. This is insane. Wow. I got people coming in here that are oh, man. All right, I'll give y'all the lesson since y'all want it. Okay, my goodness. Here it is. We'll do it. Right? Jesus told the rich young ruler, there are two things. The 3-letter word that y'all looking for is the law. That's what it is. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself fulfills the law. On these two hang all the law and the prophets. The law teaches you how to love. So if you want to treat someone justly, when we're talking about politics, not in interpersonal relationships, we're talking about the law. That is how you love your fellow man, the one who is not related to you, that is nowhere near close. But if you can treat him justly according to the law, you are proving that you love him. And this is directly from Jesus's mouth. I was going to give y'all the scripture, but I'm just like, okay, come on. It's L-A-W. L-A-W. That's it. So when you want to talk about, politically, how can we love our neighbor? The law. You figure out what the law says, the Torah. You go back to the Torah and you say, okay, well, when we're talking about what rules would help us to love our neighbor well, a rule like the parapet on the roof. Why is the parapet on the roof important? Because they had flat roofs and you wanted to make sure that someone couldn't just fall off the top of your roof. So you put a law in that makes sure that people have a parapet on their roof to save them from falling off of your roof. You show them that you love them by following that law. You don't leave them in a position where they're unsafe on your roof. But the law does not call for you to support any and every person who is lazy and give your tax dollars to people who will not work. The Levitical priesthood was supported. Why? Because they were doing the work of the temple. That's why the people were commanded to give the tithe, because they loved them enough to say, okay, you guys are doing this. You are atoning for our sins. You are going into the temple, sacrificing animals, doing this. You don't have time to farm your land, to do crops, things like that. That's why the Levitical priesthood was taken care of, because it was according to the law. It was the law of love, loving your neighbor as yourself. Hey, they're doing this thing for us. We need to make sure that they're taken care of. This is exactly why people don't understand why we had good laws and why we now have bad laws, because we don't look to the Torah, to God's inviolable and infallible law, to get our line upon line and precept upon precept. That's one of the things that America was founded on. Again, y'all don't want to hear that, but we went off on a little side tangent because we got people in here that don't know Christianity. We're trying to question my Christian credentials. This is insane. But yeah, anyway. Oh boy, let's get back to the original topic, because that was an aside. Talking about, I want to love. So you're going to do unto others that you. Yes, that is interpersonal love. Wow. People really don't understand. They're going to say segregation is a law. You're also not making sense. Oh, goodness. Sometimes you just got to give up on people. I give up, guys. I said biblical law, but now they're taking it to segregation. That's how the mind that hasn't been trained in logic and rhetoric and understanding, they can't follow a point. Okay, maybe I failed. I apologize. No problem. If you went to segregation from what I was talking about, great. Okay, fine. Let's continue. Okay. Anyway, all right, we're going back to, so now there's still more immigration news. Now, there's a lot of good things going on. This is another thing, right? People are complaining, though, that this situation is, the immigration situation is out of control. That's what they're saying, right? Right. The cruelty. They're saying it's cruel. Okay.
Amigo, eu não tenho problema, amigo. Hold on, P, man. Sorry. Move back. Out the way, bros. Out the way. Necesito una orden firmada por un juez. Necesito una orden firmada por un juez. Exactamente, te vamos a dar. No, porque la jueza me ha dado.
Now, people are saying that this is cruelty. How are they supposed to do this? This is the question. How are they supposed to do this? Are they supposed to just ask them to leave? And if they don't do it, they're just supposed to say, okay, we asked, you didn't comply, no punishment or nothing. No punishment, just no punishment. You get to walk scot-free, no questions asked, go ahead and stick around. That's been the problem with the previous administration, where you would have the laws on the books, but it's essentially, what's that video of that guy checking security where he just kind of like air rubbing people, not touching anybody? That was essentially Biden Harris's immigration policy. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay. To the tune of millions of illegal immigrants in the country. And now that they're seeing people being held responsible for their breaking of the law, now it's a big deal. This is cruelty, they say. How is it cruel that the laws are being enforced? These people knew when they came here that this was illegal. They were well aware of the fact. They were well aware of the fact that they came across and that they could be deported. Now, they didn't think it was going to happen under Biden Harris, and they were hoping that Harris would win so that their stay would be extended, and then the rhinos like Maria Salazar would get them amnesty under another name, right? Which would lead a path to citizenship, and then you would have multiple Minneapolises around the country. And that's the play. The play is to turn a bunch of these cities into Minneapolises. Bunch of your major cities, whether cities or smaller towns, push in the immigrant population, flood the nation with third world immigrants, with immigrants from countries that do not hold American values, thereby destabilizing the nation and making us ripe for the globalist takeover. That's the play. The reason why Trump won is because he vowed to stop that. That's why he won. No other country, every other country with any sense protects its borders. Now, there are some nonsensical countries like the UK that have opened up their borders and are allowing any and everybody in. France and Germany, to a lesser extent, they're trying to push back against it. But there have been a lot of countries that have said, oh, come on in, we'll just take any and everybody. Because it's because of our Christian ethic to love thy neighbor. You see how bad theology has consequences? There is no mandate in the scriptures for you to take in any and every foreigner. You obviously are not reading the same Bible that we're reading. Exodus says that there should be one law for the native and the sojourner, meaning you can't just come into this country. If there's a law set up, that law is for you too. You cannot cross this border. There needs to be even scales for both groups. And there was an expectation. If you want to go to the Bible talking about love your neighbor as yourself, there was an expectation that if you came into the nation of Israel, you were assimilating and you were going to not work on the Sabbath. You were a part of that. You weren't allowed into the temple, but you were not going to work on the Sabbath. You were going to be a part of their rise and run of their life. You weren't going to come into Yahweh's nation, physical nation that was where he dwelt, and do whatever you felt like. That's not biblical at all. So if you're reading your Bible, and you call yourself a Christian, and you think that love thy neighbor means let any and everybody come into your country, regardless of your ability to support them, and regardless of their ability to assimilate to your culture, and regardless of their criminal history and past, then you're not reading the same Bible that we're reading, because you're obviously not familiar with the Old Testament. And people gonna say, "Oh, the old covenant is abolished." Yes, but you can glean lots of wisdom from it. Yeah, right. And that you're right. Twisting the message of Christianity for your own personal agenda is crazy, and you keep doing it. And a lot of y'all liberals keep doing that, and that's how our country has gotten to the point that it's in, because y'all keep twisting it for your personal leftist nonsense and leftist agenda. Exactly. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Right? Yeah. We got Christians in here that don't believe the Bible. They believe the Bible is unreliable. And how do you know anything about Christianity without the scriptures? Anything that you know from anybody that you know traces it all the way back. Christianity. But you're reading the Gospel of Thomas? Yeah. Exactly. Well, let's keep going. We got some more immigration news. Immigration sparked a nice little yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because we almost done with the time. We got like 15 minutes. And I gotta use this. We gotta talk about this. Because Rob Schneider had some stuff to say about this recent uptick in, I guess, what he's calling, well, let's just read what he says. Hold on, y'all. Let me close some of these tabs, get some of this memory back. There you go. I always forget to close. All right. So, dear young people, yes, remember to like and subscribe. Michael Wilbur, I got to make you I'm about to make you a moderator. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and make you a moderator real quick. Hold on one second. You got the, see, let me catch you on YouTube real quick, and I'm going to make you a moderator. Where is he? All right. Where is it? Where is it? There he is. Can I make you? Where's the little disclosure? There you go. Here we go. Add as moderator. All right. There you go. Michael, you are now a moderator. All right. Appreciate you. You've been around for a while. I appreciate it. You said no. You don't want me to make you. Too late. You got the wrench. Too late. Okay. You can just put people in timeout. Just don't ban them. Okay. Don't ban them. I want the, yeah. Now, if you time them out, but I don't mind the trolls. I don't mind people because I don't really get a chance to read the comments as much as I'd like to because I'm trying to run the show. Like people see their own message and they assume that I see it, but there's 1,600 messages in this chat and that's just from YouTube. So yeah, I'm monitoring Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, X. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't see your messages, believe it or not. You see it, but that doesn't mean I see it. I know you believe that you are the most important person in the chat. When y'all get mad at me for not seeing the message, you believe that you're the most important person in the chat. But you're the only one that believes that. Not talking about the people that are subscribing and commenting, but there's some people who get really upset when I don't, and they keep, you didn't see what I said? Actually, no, I didn't. I really didn't. And it really has nothing to do with me not wanting to see it. I just don't see everything. These messages move pretty quickly, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I got 3 monitors here, actually 4 monitors. I'm running the chat. I'm looking at my rundown, thinking of stuff to say. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody thinks that this is easy. Okay, now back to Rob. Rob says, don't jump on the Jew hate train. Now here's the crazy thing. Nobody is saying that they hate Jews. This is the problem because they straw man the argument. History is littered with those that fell for the original social contagion of anti-Semitism. What they believe is that if you say anything that is not glowing or worshipful about the nation state of Israel, that you hate Jews. No, I know that I personally, because I'm a Christian, don't hate anybody. So, but I do have eyes, ears, and a working brain. And I can recognize that America is compromised with Zionists in our politics. Right? That's a problem. And many people recognize it. So the nation state of Israel, I have a problem with it. I don't want us to be at their beck and call. I don't want us giving them billions of dollars in aid. I don't care about their geopolitical issues. If it doesn't affect America, I'm not worried about it. What is it? This is not our fight. They start some stuff and then we have to come in and clean it up and finish it. They drag us into wars with Syria, with Iraq. Now they're trying to do it with Iran, Libya. This is a problem. Now, we don't hate Jews. But this is how they frame the argument so that you can't discuss the things that Israel is doing. You must hate Jews. You're an anti-Semite. No. We just don't believe that the nation state of Israel is the greatest country on earth and that we should bow the knee to them. That's not anti-Semitism. That's just being normal. Like we believe that people who live in Israel and are citizens of Israel should think that way. That Israel is the greatest nation on the face of the earth. They should think that way. Americans should not think that way. Americans should not vote that way. American politicians should not legislate that way. They should not enforce laws that way. That's all we're saying. So if you happen to say those words, anti-Semite. So again, Zionism is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So unfortunately, for Rob, he got ratioed in his chat or in his comments, right? People are like, well, it's too late, brother. The great noticing continues.
Next time I'd like to say
what he says,
that Jews control the world. Our influence is beyond any type of rational understanding.
Right? So that we're really, and this is not abnormal. There are so many problems in the Talmud, in the Jewish practices. We got the USS Liberty. We have Israel selling secrets to American secrets to Russia. Why do we, like the guy said, the great noticing? It's not that we didn't make this happen. We didn't do any of this stuff. People are just starting to notice it. They're noticing the pattern that America does whatever Israel wants us to do. Right. And AIPAC, it has unnecessary influence. And then people are coming through and saying, well, Rob, your father was Jewish, so we expect you to say that. And so you can always go back, right? We just have this it's so unnecessary that these people are like this, these Zionists. And I have a problem with Zionist because I believe that it is an absolutely horrid reading of scripture. Now, Laura Loomer says, and I'm just going to read because it's an 8-minute video, but she says pro-Israel is America first. This is the mindset. Ted Cruz, Tammy Bruce, Laura Loomer. Why is it that pro-Israel is not America first? Those two things cannot be true. That's Tammy Bruce said that America is the greatest nation on earth next to Israel. That means Israel's first. See, when you deal with whole numbers, positive integers, whatever you want to call it, you can't have two ones when you're ranking. First comes one, then comes two. So if Israel's first, then America can't be first. See, you can't serve two masters, because what happens when Israel wants something that would not benefit America? Well, Ted Cruz said he went into Congress wanting to be the biggest defender of Israel, not of America. No, absolutely not. No, that'd be heresy, right? He's Israel first. Laura Loomer, Israel first. Ben Shapiro, Israel first. Charlie Kirk, Israel first. These people are compromised, and they have a lot of influence. So why are we not killing this theology? We need to be. So this Christian Zionist mindset is so ubiquitous, because it is the air that we breathe, based on the Schofield Reference Bible and the Left Behind series, the Tim LaHaye books, the false prediction after false prediction of the end and this imminent return of Christ, and the rapture's about to happen. You're going to be raptured up and take up, and make sure you got your rapture-proof roof, and don't get left behind. If you see somebody's clothes on the ground, you're in trouble. That means you got left behind, and you're going to have to lose your head to be saved. Biblical eschatology brings peace. dispensational Zionist eschatology brings a level of panic and insanity, and that I like this can't be the biblical eschatology, because Paul's eschatology and Peter's eschatology ain't got nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it. It's a nice story. It makes mincemeat of the scriptures. It's a nice story, though. It is like a nice little action movie. But, man. But someone mentioned that Jesus was a Jew. Yes. Yes, he was. And because he lives currently, he still is physically, right? So this is your what's the word I'm looking for? It's getting late, y'all. Textbook composition fallacy. So listen to this Jewish rabbi. He says, let's see, here we go. Hit play.
I just want to say this to our Christian friends, you know, just to call it as it is and say it straight out, you know, you guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us, because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here. We're all God's firstborn, and we're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs.
You can't make this up.
This dude just really said that we should be worshiping all of them. All of them. Huh? Because they're dying for our sins. They're the bulwark. It's a composition fallacy, dude. We don't worship Jesus because he was a Jew. We worship him because he's God in the flesh. And he died for our sins. Actually died. And then not only that, not that he just died, because everybody dies. He resurrected and was seen by over 500 people after rising. Yeah, that's why. And the Bible records the eyewitness testimony. That is why we worship him. When you do that, you got my worship. Boom. You can have it. Deal? Deal. All right. Deal. That's why we worship that Jew. He did something to earn it. He earned it. Right? You've done nothing to earn it. Not my worship. No, no, sir. No, sir. No. Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not doing the worship of y'all don't even, y'all, no, man, no. Because y'all are Talmudic Judaism. Nah, man, we can't do this. We can't do that. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. He was really serious though, right? He was really serious. So this logic follows. You worship one, you should worship us all. That's called a composition, a part to whole. We're not doing that. Oh boy. So I'm gonna do I got two more things and I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. Let's look at this last. Oh man, where is it? This one. Yeah, liberal lunacy. So this is one of the greatest self-owns in recent internet history. By recent internet history, I mean over the past 2 weeks. The Democrats posted this U.S. grocery prices image, which displays how quickly grocery prices went up under the Biden administration. Cheese, alcohol, grocery, dairy, produce. They were saying, they went up to the highest level in Trump's presidency. Yeah, but look where they were before, when Trump was president before, and then when your mans became president. Wow. This was chef's kiss. to show exactly how obtuse and unaware and these people are. They essentially gave us the wow. This was an amazing cell phone. All right, now, not to be outdone with some stupidity that's on another level. Oh boy. Shannon Sharpe. This is what we're going to finish up with. Shannon Sharpe. Well, she might finish up with something else. Get people really mad. But Shannon Sharpe just settled his lawsuit with, Gabby Zuniga. $23 million he just paid her. Now, let's look back at this tweet. Boy. We're going to look at this one. Shannon Sharpe, he allegedly paid $23 million to Gabby Zuniga, who recently retired from OnlyFans. I wonder why. Shannon Sharpe made $22 million in his NFL career just for laying up and getting eggplant, and his lack of eggplant discipline and her taking advantage of it. She, now, based on inflation, is probably not as much, but who cares? The actual number is higher than the number that he made. This man, blood, sweat, tears, practice, Hall of Fame tight end, only earned $22 million in his entire career. And she earned more than that by just giving him a little of that good. You just, I'm going back to Kevin.
You can't make this up.
It's unreal how these guys who are extremely strong physically are so lightweight mentally and with their physical discipline in the area of relations, right? Now, if you're not familiar with the story, she accused him of essay and threats and he settled with her out of court. Wow. And she's in her early 20s. He's almost 60. He's in his 50s. This is insanity. He talks about it that they didn't grow up with their dad. They grew up with their grandmother. A lot of women helped to raise them. He and his brother. His brother was his father figure, even though his brother's, I think, maybe 3 or 4 years older than he is. His lack of sexual discipline has cost him reputation, money. Monique tried to tell him, you need to get an old gal that'll rub your feet, that'll just be there for you, cook for you when you come home. Stop messing with these young women. They only want you. And he got finessed. She didn't even need to, because she was talking about him putting a big black baby in her. That's what she wanted, to tie him to 18 years of child support. Now she doesn't even have to worry about the baby. She got the $23 million and didn't even need to have the child. These guys are not to be looked up to. I don't understand why people look up to athletes anyway, because discipline and success on the football field does not equate to wisdom in life. Find a wise man who has walked this path before you and that is in your life and can assess you. That will go a long way. Stop looking to the Shannon Sharpes of the world and whoever else, because these guys have no discipline. And it's not biblical, but a fool and his money are soon parted. This is But it holds true in this instance. Because this was foolish. And this is what ain't no fool like an old fool. She got 23 million because that's what they settled for, Michael. That's what they settled for. Because she accused him of SA, and there were some tapes and some things came out, and they tried it in the court of public opinion, and they went behind closed doors and settled. Yeah. I mean, now people are going in on Shannon because he gave his daughter a 30K limit for her wedding, but he had to pay. Oh man, allegedly 23 million to Gabby Zuniga because he couldn't keep it in his And to finish up, we got some more ninja nonsense. This is the last thing we're going to talk about, then I'm going to bed. But I appreciate everybody for sticking with me through this entire episode. Don't forget to like the video on your way in or out. All right. Now look at this. Carnival Cruise Line has done something which I think is masterful. Because they're trying to clean up their image, I guess, and make a difference in the level of clientele that they attract to their business, right? So what they've done here is now they're adding tips to ticket prices due to low tipping, and passengers must manually request removal at the front desk. And this is what the line looks like. It's like, man, why do we have to keep... And I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I mean, yes. He said you haunt your dreams. All right. Well, the video's not going to play, but it's a long line of people in there that don't want to tip. And these servers, they're just like everybody else that serve, right? They make money based on tips. And people want to go in and eat all the food and not tip the servers and have a great time and mess up the boat and do all of their dances and act a fool on Carnival, and Carnival saying enough is enough. If we keep this going, we're not going to have a cruise line. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's been like that for a year. Okay, there you go. See, I'm glad somebody came in and corrected that. But that's, it's interesting that Carnival is trying to crack down on a lot of stuff. They're, no Bluetooth speakers, no rap music, no this, no that. They're specifically targeting one demographic that seems to come onto the boat and cause all kinds of trouble. And Carnival saying enough is enough. We don't want to be the Spirit of the Sea, Spirit Airlines of the Sea, right? So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Y'all know how we do. Our tagline. Someone in the comments of the last video didn't understand that my tagline is essentially 1 Corinthians 16:13. And it was their first time in the video. They're not a Christian, so they don't know scripture. And that's my tagline. And they were trying to tell, they were like, he questioning y'all manhood. Yeah, question your manhood. I'm like, no, that's just me commenting. That's like quoting the scripture. So again, thank you to everybody that liked, commented, and subscribed and supported. And until next time, here's the quote from 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on the alert. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. See y'all around. Bye.